maybe this will work. I tried to put it in the chat, but it says the chat is no longer available, so I don't know how to tell them that we moved.
Okay, maybe just posting the
Yeah.
forum.
Yeah. Okay. So you can grab the link there too. Okay, I'm getting a stream is healthy. And I think the audio should be fine. But we will know if people show up. I am so sorry. I don't know exactly what just happened, but yeah.
And which one should I mute? Should I mute this one or the YouTube stream?
I think, I don't know. Try them both. See what happens.
Okay.
Trial and error.
Yay! Kim says she can hear us. And
yay! Oh, okay. Phew. I feel so much better now. Okay, cool. Yay. I'm a genius.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so thank you for your patience. I'm sorry if we lost anybody. That is my bad. Everything is okay. So I mentioned it in the forum, but I got a new computer. All my settings are like all over the place, and so as I'm going, I'm having to like recreate all the settings from stuff that I had on the old computer. Every time I think like, oh, I've done it, I figured everything out, there's another thing that I'm like, oh no, I haven't transferred the settings over from this yet. So I think that's what happened here. I don't know. But I think OBS is up and running. Everything looks good, and we got Megan here. Yay! Welcome.
Thank you.
Do you want to like just tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, maybe how you got into designing, anything you want to like share just to start us off?
Sure. Yeah. So my full name is Meagan Tuck, and I started paper scrapbooking in maybe 2008, 2009. I just had my first child, and I was like, I have some time to do some hobbies, so I started scrapbooking, and then blogs were a huge thing at that time. I don't know if anyone remembers blogs.
Yes.
I mean, I know we still have blogs, but it was like you had your own family blog, you know, and like that's how we shared things. And so I saw a friend's blog. She had this really cool header that she had made. And I was like, that is so cool. How did you do that? What program? And so she's like, oh, I did it with digital scrapbooking materials. There's so many freebies out there. And so she just started telling me about it. And I had done art. At that point, I had graduated with my bachelor's. Math education was my major, but art education was my minor. And one of the art classes I took was like commercial design. So I learned about Photoshop and we actually used Illustrator a lot in that class. And so I was like, I'm familiar with computer stuff. I know how to use the computer. And it just sucked me in immediately. I just was like, this is so cool. I love this. Loved learning about it. Got on a creative team. I don't know if anyone remembers Dream Big Designs. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
But she was the first team I was ever on. And she kind of like, she was totally willing to like teach us too, like, you guys can design, and like encourage us to design, and taught us some of the other things. So word art was where I like first started focusing on, because that's like kind of what I did with that intro to commercial design class. We did a lot of fonts, playing around with fonts and comparing them and learning about them. So I started with word art because I loved that. And then so I tried to sell just that. I started as a designer in like 2010, I would say, is probably when I opened up my first little shop. And then they're like, you really got to make kits. Like, word art alone is not going to be enough. And so then I started learning how to make kits and working on it and growing and kind of like self-taught. Like, I did some designer trainings, like trying to remember the names of the designers who had like some. I know Shell's Creations had some. I joined hers for a little while. I feel like it was Amanda. I don't know if you remember Amanda.
These are my old previews. I thought I had. Oh, here we go. Something from Dream Big.
Yes, I have so much of her stuff. I even have DVDs of her stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Because they would they would do stores in Utah, and they would sell them like that. They like put them on a bundle and like sell them as DVD collection.
Oh my gosh.
Feeling like the designer might have done that themselves. Yeah.
So
she was a big inspiration.
I don't even have anything to play a CD anymore. Like, how would you get them off anymore?
I know, right?
So funny.
I probably need to get rid of it. So yeah, so it just, I feel like she was very influential there and helping me learn and look up tutorials and things like that. Just kind of hopping around from store to store. I feel like I can help me learn from lots of different people. But Sweet Shop caught my attention a long time ago, and I was like, oh, that's the dream to be there. And so I was really happy that in 2018 is when I joined Sweet Shop. I had just had my son, and so I kind of waited till he was a few months old until I was like, I didn't want to try to jump on board and then have a baby. So
yeah, it's kind of
now and apply. And that was actually probably my second or third time applying for Sweet Shop. So that time it was a sweet spot, and I made it.
Wow! Wow, that's awesome. We're so glad you made it.
Thanks. Yeah, and like I was telling Carly, I have 4 kids, ages 8 to 17. They did inspire a lot of the kits I made as I would, look for things I could scrap with their photos. But yeah, I love art and I love math and I love how they go together too.
That's awesome. Okay, so I'm going to be scrapping with, I decided, if I can, I'm a mess. Oh, here it is. Okay. How fitting that this is the kit I'm scrapping with today. I thought I had a template for it, but I don't. So I'm going to go download something real quick, and then I can get scrapping. And in the meantime, we can look in the forum and see questions. Oh, okay. Brenda asked, do you love glitter in real life?
So if it's like already on something, then yeah, that'd be awesome. Me personally, like seeing the glitter, I'm like, it's a nightmare. Like with kids, I'm like, you find it for months afterwards.
Yes, it's so true. I think kind of that's like the beauty of digital scrapbooking, though, is you get that same like fun, like glittery look without actually having to deal with glitter.
Yes. Which is actually the biggest reason I felt like I was drawn to digital scrapbooking, because as much as I was like, oh, I wanted to scrapbook my children, paper scrapbooking was so messy and like you get all your materials out and then you'd have to put it away because the baby was getting into it, and it's just digital was so much easier.
It's so true. That's so true. Yeah, I was a paper scrapper for a long time and then went digital. But I was digital scrapbooker before I had kids. But I still had all of my like scrapbooking materials, and every time I would even attempt to like make a card or do a stamping thing, like it just ended in disaster. There were so many times when I was just like, all right. Digital is the only place, especially with the little ones. How old are your kids again?
So I have a 17-year-old daughter. She'll be a senior this fall.
Oh my gosh.
And a 15-year-old son, and then a 12-year-old son, and an 8-year-old son.
How do you do it all?
Oh man, I've been a stay-at-home mom all those times. I mean, I work part-time, doing this. That's what's been great with the digital design is how flexible it is, and you can work it around our schedule. So that's been fantastic for us. And yeah, just really, there's definitely years in there when they're young and you're like, I'm not functioning in any other capacity than just keeping you alive. It just feels like that's all I have time for.
Like a lot of survival mode going on.
Yeah. That's a perfect template, little pills. Love
That's
it.
what I was thinking, yeah. Okay, Chris asks, would you consider doing Cartoon Network throwback animated dreams like Chowder, regular show, and Gumball inspired kit? They're making a comeback.
My kids love Gumball. So the animated dream series I do with Wendy P. We always collaborate on those. So it's really fun. She's pretty open to a lot of them. If she's never heard of them, we do research. We're like, okay, we got to watch it now. We got to sit here and get some ideas that way. So yeah, I think that would be a really fun one.
Do you ever have to like tackle topics that you don't know much about, or do you kind of shy away from those and just go with like what you know more of?
So, I mean, a lot of people have asked about the doctor's visit kits, and that is almost like every single one of them. Sometimes there's things that I'm familiar with, like, and the first one, the very first doctor's visit kit is actually Doctor's Visit Sick, which I've retired since. I think it's the only one I've retired because it was the oldest one. I actually probably called it just Doctor's Visit the first time I made it.
Right.
And then when I decided I was going to make a series, because when I made the first one, I didn't know I was going to make them into a series. So I rebranded it as Doctor's Visit Sick when I like re-released it at Sweet Shop. And so that one was just like generic, just visiting the doctor, and had some like casts and things like that in it. And then I did one. I do wear glasses myself, and so like, oh, I think it'd be fun to do some with about the eyes. And then I think from that point on, it was pretty much requests. And so some of these things I do not have. I mean, I do not have. I hope I don't have all those conditions. That's a really. If anybody that is out there has all those conditions, I'm really sorry.
I know.
That's a really rough life.
Yeah.
I've really gone over a lot of different things over the years. So ENT, I actually did go to an ENT myself a few years back. I just kept getting strep. I had like strep like 3 times in 2 months. It was crazy. Yeah, and that's why I learned that you have to have it like a lot for them to consider removing your tonsils. So I still have my tonsils. And they're like, if it happens like 7 times in a year, then we'll take your tonsils. I was like, really? Because I was just like so miserable. I was just worried, like, is this going to keep happening? But like, I finally stopped having the cycle. So I don't know. It was just crazy. But yeah, so I have been to an ENT myself. And so, but I think someone requested that kit more than me going, oh, I've been to the ENT. And then of course there was a request for diabetes. I do not have diabetes. So, I know surface level things about these kits, but to really make them more intricate and more applicable to those who are scrapping with them, I really make sure to do some research. And Pinterest is my friend, looking up different like phrases and quotes, because I like to also make them a little lighthearted. I don't want to make them so heavy. So I like the quotes and things that people bring up. And then like Doctor Visit Pet, that was one that was, I'm really grateful someone requested that one. It's been a really good seller. I don't have pets myself. I don't have dogs and cats.
I'm like the only person I know who doesn't have pets.
I'm allergic to dogs and cats, and my kids were trying to deny it they were as well, but slowly a couple of them have realized they have some pet allergies as well. We have a friend that we go over to. They have 3 huge fluffy dogs, and every time we go over there, we're like, choo, 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 just like dying. So yeah, we don't do pets in our house for that reason. But so I do try to research those things. Respiratory, I do have asthma myself, and I have a son who has asthma. So I knew a little bit about the inhaler, and researched up that a little bit. But yeah, like the heart one especially. I do have a doctor's visit allergy, so if you want an allergist one, I wonder if like you're just saying more from the, and that's the interesting thing with doctor's visit. It's not always from the patient side. Some
Right.
people want it from the other side, which is what like the X-ray one. I had a lot of fun with the X-ray one. I thought that one was great. Just loved doing the colors and trying to like really be bold with the colors, and then did go. I think that was the first one that people really were like, I wanted on the doctor side of it, like the specialist side of it. So I made some more word art and things for that side, like the nurse side. So yeah, and I love the requests that come in. Like I love being informed. I love that I'm like, art is teaching me something. So that's what these kids are.
That's
doing.
Incredible, yeah. So do you have like plans for more?
I definitely have received more requests. I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna look real quick. My CT, my creative team are some of the biggest ones asking for things. People wanted a new braces. Like I have a teeth one, but they wanted more with the braces.
Like orthodontic stuff?
Yeah, because it's in there. Like I have some braces in the teeth one, but I don't know.
Never enough.
Yeah, no, and that's the great thing. I mean, there's like I could make this huge kit that covers everything, but it really wouldn't go into enough depth for every situation. So that's what's great about having the series and getting people's requests. I think internal medicine is one that I've had for a while, like kidney stones and gallbladder stones. It's always like how to make this interesting and not gross.
Interesting, yeah. I wonder if there's like now with all of like the GLP-1s, if there's like a weight loss theme in there somewhere. I bet people would enjoy that.
That's a good point. Putting it down, writing it down. So yeah, I try to follow the forum where they ask for requests and kit suggestions and things like that. If I see,
I know, I love that thread so much. It's always so interesting what people, I think a lot of people like have a vision of what they want the kit to be, and they know the designer that they think would like do such a good job with it. So I love seeing that like come together, like when a customer can create an idea or a color palette for a designer and they take it and they run with it, and it's like everything that a customer dreamed of, like that is magic to me.
Oh, we love it knowing that it's like, okay, thanks for helping us come up with the idea. There's a few times that I admit I will get this like debilitating like just stress, like thinking that it's a very tall order, a big ask, and feeling like I don't know if I could do it justice. Actually, the latest one was that Dungeons and Dragons one. It was like I'd done one a few years ago.
Though.
Thanks. It stressed me out so much. Like I just was like frozen with like I don't know how to start this, and like just like trying to get that vision into my head and out on the computer and feeling like it'll connect right. That was stressful.
One of the things about having ADHD is that a lot of the times I cannot start a task until I see the finished product in my head. And so I just get stalled in like the starting process. And then once I like start, I'm a train and I'm just like in it, and it's like, and finish it, but if I have no idea like what the outcome is going to be, my brain like cannot even find a starting point.
Yeah, I can resonate with that. I can't say that I've been officially diagnosed, but like my daughter loves to look up these social media diagnoses, and I'm like, you can't go off of that, sweetie. But I definitely know. I like, yeah, I just like it. Just I really have to plan everything out when I'm making a kit. It really helps me to be like, okay, I know I'm gonna do these phrases, and like ChatGPT's been helping me a little bit with that too. Like, help me come up with a list of just like elements I should include. I mean, I've still got to do the design work behind it, you know.
Of course.
But AI just helps with like brainstorming and getting those ideas rolling, and then of course going to Pinterest and trying to get like the visuals and then even then sometimes it's so interesting how you can get a color palette and then you do the kit and you're like, I'm not sure this came out the way I wanted it to. I think I'm one of those designers that tries to keep equal quantities with the colors, but it's like it really doesn't work that way all the time with the palette. Sometimes with the palette, there needs to be a couple colors that are heavier in the kit than other ones. So that's always a balance, a delicate art form.
I can see that. It's hard sometimes to find that balance. I always think it's interesting too to think about like what looks good on a computer screen doesn't always look good printed.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot to like think about there, especially when you're using like really bright colors or you know, there's like a muddiness that happens once you start muting the colors a little bit. It just doesn't look great like printed on a page.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever do like gamut checks?
I design for like 10 minutes and I would do that then. I don't do it as a scrapbooker though. I actually haven't printed anything I've scrapped ever. So it hasn't come up.
Yeah, I feel like that's why people are not worrying so much about it anymore because they are just keeping them digital and not printing them out.
I would love to print more stuff. I really would. I printed like one vacation album, but I don't even have a copy of it. I like gave it to my parents and my grandparents. But I really am a big believer in like printing photos because I'm not going to hand my kids like a hard drive one day. You know what I mean? Like, I do think there is something to like the tangible printed book that is beautiful. And I do want to do it one day. It will happen one day, but I just haven't gotten there yet. I also like haven't finished any of the projects I've started, right? Like I have like 8 vacation albums. I start Project Life every year and like full well knowing I am not going to finish it. So I have like just like random, I have like 16 weeks of 2024 and like that is it, you know? So I don't know. I'm trying to be like, focusing like lately on like not just scrapping for like my own creative fun outlet, which I do most of the time, but like actually like printing, like listing out what do I have, what needs to be done, how can I finish an album, right? Like what do I need to do to finish this album? And at least if I have it like on paper, I think I'm more likely to be like, oh, this kit came, that's perfect for this thing, you know, and I can kind of like put the pieces together a little bit more. But my whole thing is kind of like scrapping on vibes. Like that's how I've been doing it so far. But I'm also like at a point where I'm like, I really do want to like give this to my kids someday. They're still young, you know, so I have time or whatever. But I don't know. I do want to move toward printing more. So that's something I'm trying to work on.
Yeah. That's a great idea. Sorry, say that again.
Do you scrapbook at all anymore?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It has been a while. It gets hard sometimes, especially like you said, I am designing kits that pertain to my kids and my family sometimes, but a lot of times when I get these requests, they don't pertain to me. Sure. And so I'm not always like, because sometimes I'll be like, you know, I really enjoyed this kit. It's really applicable to me, and I'll scrapbook a page with it if I feel inspired. But it's probably been a couple of years.
Yeah. That was one of the things when I did start designing that like I didn't like. Like I didn't like not scrapbooking. I also could not keep up with the pace. The pace is just unrelenting. I don't know how you guys do it. It's a very specific and special skill set. You guys are very talented.
Well, I don't know how well I'm doing it lately, but yeah, I mean, you just have to think like so far in advance. I mean, not as far as advanced as Hobby Lobby with Christmas stuff up already, but
it's wild, right? Like we're just like skipping whole holidays now.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good for me to try to design something for my daughter as if she's a senior, and like having like a senior gift of like, look, this is you in your first 18 years or something. Would be fun.
I know, I get so jealous of not just the sugar babes, but like everybody in the forum who's just like putting out these books left and right, and they're so gorgeous, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta get my life together. Like, it's like my motto. I gotta get my life together.
Yeah. I think by it took me going, okay, this is what I need to finish it. I know I need a page that's going to have these photos, and like grouping my photos, like, okay, these are going to be on a page and these are going to be on a page, and like going through systemically, and so I could check them out, because I am a checklist person. I'm like, oh yes, checklist. And so being able to mark them off the checklist, like, I did that page, it was really, really helpful to getting it done.
Yeah. It's definitely easier when I can gather my journaling and my photos and all that beforehand. That way, like, I know if I'm going to use a template, I know how many photo slots I need for the template, right? Like, if it's going to be like a lot of journaling, I know I need like a space for a lot of journaling. But I do just struggle with organization in general. Like, it's just not like my bag. So yeah, I try.
Yeah, I'm getting like, I have photos in so many different locations, and then there's duplicate photos, and so it does overwhelm me. Like when I get over, like, do I have that photo already? And like the files are not clear so much anymore. The properties on them about when that photo was created, and so I'm having to like.
And if you like make a duplicate of the photo, it's like the date that you duplicated it on, and I'm like, no, like that was 10 years ago. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that makes it really hard to cater. Like, oh, now I'm really trying to put, detective this out, sleuth it out of when this picture was taken.
Right. I also have a habit of like, I always praise Cheryl, because Cheryl has like a spreadsheet with like the kits she's used, the photos she's used. It is incredible. And then there's like me, who I'm like, oh, I made this beautiful page, and I like put it up in the forum, and I'm like, I have already scrapped these pictures. Like, what am I doing?
Oh no. Yeah, I made this little scrapped badge for me, like a little picture, like I just, like designed a little picture. So I put that little badge in my photo albums when I scrapped that photo set, so that I tell myself, okay, I already got this one scrapped.
I love hearing everybody's systems for keeping everything organized. Do you have like what are your systems like for designing? Like, what does that, like, keeping your commercial use stuff, like stuff you make yourself? How do you organize all of that?
Yeah, I do have folders, and so when I get commercial use, I categorize them. Okay, these are paper patterns. These are, I call them extracted elements if they're like realistic elements, and then template elements. They go in their own folder.
Okay.
Sometimes for big ones like Christmas, where I start getting a lot of Christmas themed things or summer themed things, I start putting them into those categories instead.
Okay.
By type, but mostly I try to organize the commercial use by type. And even then, I still need to go through it, because I'm like, there's some older commercial use stuff I know I won't use anymore. Like the quality that we expect is better than it was when I started,
Yeah, for
15
sure.
years ago. So I'm like, that one's not up to the quality that I have now for my commercial use products. And then I do have a separate folder that I keep my own things that I've created. I've made a few commercial use things myself. I know I didn't really get big into it, but then there's also like all these custom elements I've made, like templates of, and so I just went through recently, like got rid of some of the retiree things, moving them off of my computer, putting them in Dropbox. But I was also going through like, oh, is that an element that I want to keep that I made myself? I'm like, I don't want to just delete that, and so I have
gone forever, right? Like, that's sad.
Oh, it's so scary. So There are some things that I've kept in this subfolder called my own templates. I don't think that they might not be good enough for commercial use. Like, you have to adjust them to make them right for commercial use maybe. But they're definitely things that I'm like, I spent so much time making that. I don't know that I want to have to do it again. So I'm keeping it.
It's like a labor of love.
It really is.
Let me check on the chat. I'm sorry, I haven't even checked in with the chat. Hello, my chat. Do you guys have any more questions for Megan? Let's see. Okay. Mental health. Yay. It's so important. Kim loves all of your health kits. Yes, I agree. Mental health is important. And I love that this kit exists because I think that there's just a lot of stigma around mental health stuff. Like still to this day, you think like you're breaking through the stigma, and then you see some stuff posted online and you're like, oh no, like we're still in the trenches over here, So yeah, I think what about like a postpartum doctor's mental health? That would be amazing. I think a lot of us struggle after having kids,
Yeah. And then I didn't call them doctor's visit kits, but there's teen angst and teen anxiety. At least I think I called it teen anxiety. But yeah, that kind of came from my own daughter getting diagnosed with anxiety a couple years ago. And man, I tell you what, watching that second Inside Out, I sobbed. I sobbed when she just at the she had that breakdown panic attack, and I just was like, man, it just felt like I better understood my daughter and like what happens to her, because it's been hard for me to like know how to talk to her about her anxiety. It's not something I experienced myself, and I'm just like trying to see like what can I, why are you having these thoughts? She's like, I don't know why I'm having these thoughts. I can't just shut them off, Mom.
Right.
So it was really eye-opening to me, and like it just that movie really impacted me. And so just trying to like capture with those kids the kind of emotions that teens have.
Do you find it like cathartic? Because like scrapbooking for me is part of therapy, right? Like I have a big feeling and I put it on the page, and then maybe it doesn't go away, but I feel like sometimes I feel like a closure in a part of my life when I can like scrapbook about it, Do you feel the same as like a designer?
I feel like if it's a kit that relates to me, then really personally, then yeah, I feel like it could be that. And like I said, I just find it enjoyable to research and find out more about other health conditions, and feel that hopefully that these kids show empathy towards those situations, even if I'm not experiencing it myself, that I feel like I've come to a place where, I just feel like a better person afterwards. Like I've taken myself out of my own, thought process here and thought about other people while I've worked on this, and that feels great.
That's lovely.
And and just more awareness, and feel like it makes me better able to connect with other people.
I love that. All right. I've done some albums for very contained trips, but also albums where it's one page at a time. The winning process of completion doesn't matter. I love that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've mentioned it on stream before, but like I bought persnickety prints, like credits. I think I have 12 by 12 and 8 by 8. I bought them like probably over 10 years ago now, and they're still there. I checked on them, it's just a matter of like doing it, actually like putting I don't know, I guess I can have an album and add to it and subtract from it. It doesn't have to be like a printed book, I can still do pages like the old fashioned way. And that's probably a better system for me, honestly, than having to have like a completed project before I even put it into print. So yeah, I'm moving. I'm gonna print stuff soon. Like I promise you guys, I will print it. I will do an unboxing. Like, you will be so proud of me. It's going to happen. It is. I'm moving in that direction. Rebecca says she keeps a to-do list for scrapping. She also makes a blank placeholder PSD so she doesn't mess up page counts. That's so brilliant. Because when you do like printing of the pages, you have like a blank page in the front, then you have a page 1, and then you have a page 2 and a page 3. So I think she's saying she puts like a blank PSD next to like page 1 so that the page ordering when she's doing double pages is like kept intact. I love that. That's brilliant. Okay, so we have a question. Theme-wise, were the armed forces requests or from personal inspiration? Her dad is a retired fighter pilot in the French Air Force.
That's awesome. So they're mainly a request. I do have military family members though. My grandfather was a colonel, and it's really funny because his last name is Sanders. So he is Colonel Sanders. No relation to KFC. But we're very proud. Yes, I'm very proud of his military service. He was an anesthesiologist, so he was a medical professional in the military, but he was amazing. My father is also military, so I was born in Berlin, Germany, actually,
Okay.
on the base there. And then my mother joined the Commissioned Officers Corps of the Navy.
Okay.
So it's like the medical corps that's underneath the Surgeon General.
Oh, okay.
She served in that for 20 years. And so a couple times, like right before I had my first daughter, she got sent to Texas because Hurricane Ike had happened.
Oh, wow.
So like, they go when there's disasters. Some members of that corps like went to 9/11, went to Ground Zero when that happened. She did not get called up to go to there. Sometimes they were asking, and they were like, "You need to be called up," and she would like talk to the clinic she's at, tell them I'm too important, I can't go right now.
Right.
Because she worked at really remote clinics, and they did not have a lot of professional people there. So yeah, no, I'm very proud of those members of my family who have served in the military. I haven't really scrapped with them yet, although I'm sure I have some great pictures of my mom I could do with the Navy in her blues and some awards she's received. So that would be great to include that. I think that the air show kit, that was from personal experience. They had an air show here about a year and a half ago. I'm really close to an Air Force base. And so I was like, let's do an air show kit. That'll be fun. To and then have I scrapped those pictures yet? No, but I will. But I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I think someone requested it too. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I went to an air show myself, so I know a little bit about it. And then I think that from there, people were like, oh, can you do like the armed forces? It took me a while to get through all the armed forces. I kept forgetting how many there were, which was sad. So people were like, why was Air Force the last one you did? I was like, I'm sorry. Like Space Force came.
Someone has to be last.
Someone had to be last. I know that. Yeah. So that was also a challenge, trying to make them distinct and different, even though like again, I'm learning. I'm like, oh, there's a couple of different ones that have, fighter jets or like tanks and things like that. It's not just specific to one branch. So that's what gets tricky with those kind of themes of like how to make each one really unique and different and like add to the series and not just be a repeat of another kit in the series.
Yeah, and I'm sure like color theme wise, you're kind of dealing with a very similar color palettes for most of them at least.
Yeah. Definitely.
Which I think is nice that they're like can be interchangeable in a way, but
yeah,
I'm sure making them like unique was a challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's definitely something I've wondered in the past if I should try to like have a general like huge color palette that they kind of all connect to, and I'm like, it's a little late for the doctor's visit ones to do that. Although there's been a couple of doctor visit ones that I did use the same palette for some. I was just like, I forget which one, like ENT and then hearing, because I felt like they were linked. I was like I'm actually trying to get into my ENT. I'm having ringing in my ears, which is kind of weird. A little nervous about what that could mean. It may mean at 40 years old I'm going to be getting ear tubes.
Oh wow.
But that's what it is, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
I had an uncle who had Meniere's disease, so I'm like, I just don't want to hear that. But so then it'll get personal. But I felt like someone had requested hearing, and I was like, well, I did do ENT, but I can push it more with hearing. But I felt like they were connected, so I did use the same palette for that.
I also find that like maybe without meaning to, or maybe meaning to, a lot of designers kind of have like there's like a teal that's your teal, and it's like it tends to come up in like different kits, and like other designers they have teal, but it's like not the same teal as your teal. And sometimes the color palettes across designers is like beautifully like I can mix any kits together, that's like one of my superpowers is like mixing kits. But I do find that like there's certain designers where like they tend to have the same either colors or like types of like it's not quite muted, it's not quite bright, like they kind of stick to like what they're good at and what they know, and it makes it easy then to kind of like use their kits interchangeably even if it's not like on topic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a signature look that you guys have, that you probably over time just kind of like cultivated.
Yeah. I don't know that I have one. Sometimes, like I feel like there are some kits that you definitely line them up. You're like, oh yeah, those are Meagan's. But I also love branching out, like so Wedding Adventure, and my Christmas one, I believe it was just called like A Merry Home. They're very neutral colors. So like if you look through my store, you'd probably see them. They'd stand out because they're like, whoa, neutral, like white, black, brown. And I loved them. I thought they were so. I was like, it was like it almost seemed like limited to those colors, gave me more freedom. I don't know, like they came out, and I was like, oh, I love this. Like the Wedding Adventure one, wedding kits are always tricky because people have their own wedding colors, and they want it to match perfectly, and I'm like, it won't match perfectly. I mean, I've thought about like if there's a way to customize to like put that in the store, like if you love everything in this wedding kit but you wish it were these two colors, we could talk about that, maybe because I do keep a lot of layered files for kits. It takes me a while to like I think once I've retired it, then that's like what I was talking to you about. I go through and go, okay, which of these elements that I made do I want to keep, but otherwise like I try to keep most of the layered elements for a kit that I've made for a while until I make sure I wouldn't want to change anything, especially if I'm like, I'm going to try to go back and scrap it myself and maybe I'll change something because I can, but I haven't done that yet. But yeah, wedding kits so I wanted that wedding kit to be neutral so that it would be a little more applicable to everyone. It could work with any kind of wedding photos. And then
I can't remember who it was. Somebody had, I think it was a cheerleading kit where like the base kit was neutral and then they did like add-ons. Was it Liv?
Yes, that's us in Connection Keeping. We did one. Okay. And yes, that was a huge project because at least we did one like that. It's called Cheer Squad, and like the base one was black and gold and white, and then we did we have a Cheer Squad add-on that has like all the different colors as well. So yeah, we definitely were conscientious about that because we're like, there's so many different school uniforms and things out there with different colors.
Yeah, I love that.
Sports are like that too. The sports kits are really tough too.
Yes, of course. You don't want to go
colors.
scrapping your son's baseball team with rival colors,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that works.
And that's why that gamut, I feel like if something's out of gamut, I feel like it's harder to try to change the color.
It's true. There are just some colors that they just literally cannot exist in gamut, and it's like it's limiting. It's just limiting, and it's not like something that can be fixed, right? Like it's like science. Like it's like the bounds of reality that you're kind of coming across sometimes.
Yeah. But it's a good argument for not printing your pages and just keeping them digital, and
there you go. Never have to worry about it.
Timed, it's where to store it online. That's the tricky part.
Yes, I agree. The digital storage issue is like, it's real. Like I have probably 86,000, I'm not even exaggerating, pictures on my phone, and my phone is constantly like, yeah, I can't function like this. Like, you need to delete something. And I'm like, I'll just delete all the apps. Like, I'm not deleting the photos, even though I have done like on my, like, I back them up. I have them backed up in places, but like sometimes I'm just like, I'm talking to my kids and I'm like, when you were 2, and then I'll like pull up the picture on my phone because they don't remember that. And I'm like, I just have that like memory accessible in my hand. And it's nice to be able to do that. Except my phone does not like it very much at all. So yeah, I think that's a big question. Like, what do you do with all of those like digital files in the long run? Do you bring them to the retirement home with you? Like, what's the future of your I don't know, your legacy?
Yeah, that's a lot.
I'm just like dropping the big questions today. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no, it's good to hear. Yeah, I reached the point this year where I had to pay for Google storage for my photos because I'd reached the limit of the free space. I was like, no.
Yeah, I've been paying for that for way too long. It's tough. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do a lot of genealogy too.
Oh.
And there's a website, Family Search.
Okay.
And you can add family photos on there. And as far as I know, there's no limit. And it's going to be around forever.
That's incredible.
I don't know about like uploading like, hundreds of pages of scrapbooking pages, but like just it's nice to know that you can have some family photos on there because, that's what I've, run into when you're talking about like what's going to happen with these when my grandparents passed away a few years ago. And I have a bunch of Kodak film slides and also like slides of photos that I got from them. And I got this Kodak scanner so that I can view the slide and capture the image and put it digitally.
Wow.
Because that way, that's the best way to keep that picture. And and then I'm like, now what do I do with it? So I'm like thinking about trying to upload them to that Family Search page, or I've uploaded them to Facebook to like do a family group. And Facebook may get to the point too where those albums cost money to keep them. And
I think too, like the compression quality on Facebook is like, so if you wanted to ever like take them off of Facebook, that's when it becomes an issue.
Right, it's right. And that was the issue I ran into with those family blogs. It was so much work because that also had like space. They're like, you've used up all your space. But if you kept the photos smaller, then they wouldn't go towards your space count or whatever.
Right.
Because it was like your photos were over a certain size. And so I was sitting there saving each photo as a web size photo, lowering the quality to put them on the blog. And I'm like, this is so much work.
It's exhausting.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. I do have that box of slides somewhere. I need to get back to work.
Right.
I've done some of them.
My grandfather.
And they're super fancy.
My grandma and my grandpa had like the carousel of slides from like, I don't know if it was their honeymoon or like a trip to Europe from like back in the day. And it was just like lovely, but also like, what am I gonna do with this?
Yeah.
what is on your design agenda? Like, what is next for you?
Ooh.
If you can share the tea.
Well, one that's been a request from my CT that's been sitting there is a marching band kit. I did one about music, about band, but she like specifically wanted to be like band competitions and things like that. So, and that's another one that I'm like, whew, because the instrument, like, I don't, how many instruments do I include in this kit? How detailed do I get with these instruments? But that's a design challenge. So sometimes like things like that, I go like, how am I gonna do this? How do I make this look good? Because I want it to scream the theme, but I also don't want to spend 40 hours designing elements for it. So
yeah, that's got to be a challenge to like do justice to a kit while also like making it a reasonable amount of time for you to spend on it, where it's gonna like be profitable for you, right? Because it's a business for you ultimately.
Yeah, it's always tricky, and also looking for that. Sometimes things get so niche, and that sometimes with the health ones, it creates that issue too of like, this is really niche. I don't know how many people would use this, so trying to make it a little more widespread, applicable. See if I can branch out as much as possible, or I've contemplated making mini kits instead of like a full collection. If it's something I feel like is really specific, like someone did have that early intervention. They were early interventionists, and I'm like, that is very niche to me. So I kept that one really small because of that.
Yeah, that's interesting. I also find like designers today like don't really do mini kits anymore, and I think it's because like there's so much you want to do with a kit that it just ends up being like a regular size kit. Like even if you had the intention of going into it as a mini kit, we have a guest. It just ends up being a regular kit anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just little add-ons. Again, the palette would already be decided to find out what it like kind of links to and try to go with that. Yeah. So that band kit, I was like trying to look it up. I'm like, I had some things written down. I haven't had anything done. I was gonna do a FIFA inspired kit, and I really wish I had. I don't know if anyone did in Sweet Shop.
I know that there were some, like a lot of the soccer kits went into Sweet Steals. So there were some sales on soccer kits pretty recently, but I don't think anybody, well, Sweet Doll did a kit, but I don't think it was specifically FIFA.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like a soccer.
Soccer journal.
Yeah, I made a page for my kids. My kids love soccer. We play in the front yard. They don't play on teams anymore, but I still have like a lot of soccer pictures,
Yeah.
What's your like worst selling kit?
I usually retire those. Well, like I see, I probably have a list of some things I was gonna retire. Where was that? Removed in store. Let's see here. Halloween. Well, Easter kits don't sell well. I find they don't sell well.
Do you think it's like the time of year, or?
No, it was really weird because I was like, don't we have pictures of our kids on egg hunts and all that stuff? And it's just like, nope. Like it just, I don't know. I struggled to sell those.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I always hesitate to do a new Easter kit. I'm like, and then I kind of did a different one this year, doing it more religious themed instead of the Easter things like that. Kind of hit more with like Chosen because I know that's a popular thing.
Right.
I still feel like I've got these Moment in Time, that series that still gets love. So I've always been hesitant to retire those because I'm like, no, every now and then people love those and they want to play with them. So Those are good. Those are good.
I was going to mention before, another neutral kit. It was like a Halloween, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm sure I do have a Halloween one that was very neutral. It was a Christmas one that was neutral.
Something like that. Haunted Home.
Yeah, Haunted Home. That one was a really good seller, actually.
I loved that kit so much. It was like all the right colors, all the right pieces to just make beautiful pages with.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed how that one came out too, and like I did some eating out ones. I love how the coffee one looks, even though I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't drink coffee or tea.
That's the brown and the green. Yeah.
Kind of Starbucksy.
You have like a breakfast one too, right? Like an eating out breakfast.
Yeah.
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 It's so hard, like as a sugar babe now, to like keep track of all of the kits.
Sure. I don't expect you to. I'm sorry if I'm like, oh, you know this one from me, right? I mean, there's like 30 designers that each have like 200 things in the store. Don't you know them all?
I really do try my very best to like have a good sense of what's out there, but I'll tell you what, like I will still go like so to download this kit, I went through all like 15 pages of your store because I was like, if I'm gonna like scrap with a kit, I want it to be like something I haven't done before, but something that like I really, really want, that I'm interested in, something that's fun that I really want to do. And what I do is like I have like a middle clicker on my mouse that like opens up a separate tab. And so I have like your store in the first tab, and then I had like 10 tabs open of like kits that I was like considering scrapping with. But every time I go through a designer store, I'm like, what is this kit? I haven't seen this kit before. How have I not seen this kit before? Like they're still managed to find a way to like have something in the collection that I have never seen, which is just so interesting to me.
Yeah, they get under the crack somehow.
Yes, exactly.
Now a couple that I was like, I loved them, and they didn't do so well. It hurt. Was I did like a dino themed one. So like there was a Dino Christmas. I think I called it like Roar Christmas, or I don't know, something like that. So like a dino themed Christmas one. And I had so much fun making the little dinosaurs and little Santa hats on them, and it just kind of flopped. And I was like, okay. And then Feliz Navidad. I was like, it's like I do Zumba too, and like the list. Let's make a list of all the things. Meagan, too many things because I teach Zumba on Saturday mornings.
Awesome.
But I take Zumba, and so love Mexican and Hispanic music, and we listen to a lot of it. I don't understand it. But and so I was like, Feliz Navidad, that'd be perfect. And then it hasn't been that successful either. I was like, okay, well, I thought it was fun, Like, come on, llamas with a Santa hat. It's hilarious. It's great.
That's adorable. I love that. That's kind of what I like about like the Sweet Steals. Is there's like kits in there that maybe I haven't seen in a while, or I know you guys will put up stuff like that's like relevant to what's going on now, or like what's upcoming. And it's just kind of a nice way to like revive like an older kit maybe that didn't get as much love, or like was a great seller but kind of like fell off over time.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Sweet Steals. Whenever there's a sign up for them, I'm like,
awesome.
Okay, let me double check on the chat and see if anybody else had any questions. We're going to start wrapping up. I don't want to keep you too long. My kids are obviously getting antsy. Let's see. Mini specialized add-ons sounds like a good idea. Easter is too specific for younger kids was a comment that we got, which I think is very interesting. I wonder how you adapt that for your older teenagers.
Yeah.
The colors are soft and the activities are quite limited. Interesting. All right. I think that is all of our questions for today. Thank you so much for joining us. I didn't finish my page yet, but I'm getting there. I'll post it in the forum when I am finished. I realized I was going to take a picture of, like, not specifically my meds, but like a picture of my meds and put it in there. But then I was like, I'm literally on my phone right now. Like, I can't even, can't do that yet. So we'll take the picture when we're done. I'll put it up there. And then I probably won't make my journaling public on this one, but I'll probably just put like a placeholder in there. And then I was struggling with the title because the word arts are there's so many cute ones. I think it's such a good problem to have when you're scrapbooking, that like there's too much good stuff in a kit, you know. You're just like, it is a struggle, but it's like a good struggle, you know.
That's great. Yeah. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to like figure out what direction I want to go with it. Can I show? I'm just gonna show it on screen real quick because there's so many cute ones. Sometimes I do this like on Thursdays before kit drops. I give a little like preview to the people who show up. So, yeah, I like the creativity of like, it's not just word art. There's like the brain behind the word, you know, like that to me is really fun. And the clusters are really fun too. And I like this, like, do you draw these yourself? Is this like hand drawn?
No, I find fonts. I have too many fonts. I love fonts so much.
Me too. But yeah, they take up a lot of bandwidth on in your design program. So yeah, I'm gonna have to choose one of these, and then I'll post my completed page. Well, thank you. This was really fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, Carly. It was great talking with you and seeing everybody in the chat.
Yeah, really good to get to know you better. How can people get a hold of you if they have questions or requests or comments? Send you some love on social media.
Yeah, I have a Facebook page. Also have a Facebook group called Meagan's Creations Insiders Group. So that's probably a link to that. I do have a blog, so the website, so you can check out the website, Instagram. I love it if you can tag me on Instagram when you post stuff, a layout. I always see those, love those, comment on those. And private message in the forum, I'll get those too, respond to those, and love those requests in the kit suggestions forum too. So that's great.
Yeah, me too. That's fun. Well, thank you so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun. And yeah, I don't know how to end this. So I will just say, I hope everyone has a really lovely Monday. Thank you guys for coming and supporting us in this really fun adventure we're on. I don't know if I've announced it yet. I actually don't know who's next. Maybe Cheryl? I believe I'm doing Cheryl and Liv together, but I can't remember which month I'm doing them in. But I'll be announcing it soon in the forum, who will be my next victim. And I hope you'll join us then as well. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
Thanks so much, Carly.
Thank you so much. This was lovely.